Dave Swanberg, Lee Sewer Henderson, MnIAAA Hall of Fame recipient. Born and raised in East Grand Forks, there were always some sort of games being played in the backyard, whether it was football, basketball, wiffle ball, kickball, kick the can. In high school, I was a three-sport athlete, football, hockey, and track and field, and then the summers were always filled with baseball as well. Fortunate enough to play in the state hockey tournament my senior year. That was probably the highlight of my high school career. After high school, was semi-recruited to go to Concordia College in Moorhead. My original plan was to play football and hockey, try two sports at the college level. The football went okay the freshman year, hockey not so much. So after that freshman year, I decided to take a year off and went and played junior hockey down in Austin, Minnesota. Went back to Concordia, started watching track practice my sophomore year, and then halfway through my sophomore year, I asked the coach if I could try out because I kind of figured I could do just as well or maybe even better than what some of those other kids were doing, and was fortunate enough to be an All-American in the 400 meters my junior year. Senior year, I only played hockey. I was doing my student teaching and I wanted to make that a priority over track and field. So I think it was my junior or senior year in high school, I got a park and rec job as Little League softball and baseball coach. And I loved it, getting up in the morning. We had all of our practices in the morning and our games in the afternoon. It was truly a labor of love doing that. When I went to college originally, I thought I was gonna be an accountant. Found out that sitting behind a desk for 8 hours a day wasn't really for me. So probably my sophomore year at college, I realized that I wanted to be a coach. And to be a coach back in those days, you had to be an educator as well. I was fortunate enough to land a job in Lee Sewer Henderson. After graduating from college, I went there and was the assistant football coach. I was the head hockey coach and the head baseball coach. I always liked watching administrators when I was coaching. They seemed to have the best seat in the house. They didn't seem to be quite as stressed out as the coaches were. Was very interested in activities and was lucky enough to get the job, and I guess the rest is history. Lee Sewer Henderson graduating class averaged back in the day around 100. They're a little bit less now, but we had plenty of activities going on. I never realized just how hard the kids worked in the fine arts. That was probably the highlight for me, looking to see how hard those speech kids work, looking to see how hard the kids work in the one-act play, the visual arts. I always knew how hard athletes worked, but it was fun being a part of all those programs instead of just being totally focused on athletics. You're the one who's in charge of the activities program. You got to make sure that the concession stand is up and running. You've got your table workers, you've got your ticket sellers. It's an awesome opportunity to work with a great group of people. I think just watching our programs grow, adding programs as an athletic director, we're able to add girls hockey to the program. I guess if anything, trying to make their facilities better, trying to help them make their programs better. My favorite thing is just watching the excitement, watching the activities, watching the student section cheer on their classmates, watching the kids participate. I remember one of my first couple years getting a call from my good friend Randy Walsh over at Sibley East for a junior high basketball game. We were practicing and they showed up for a game that I had forgotten to put on the master schedule. Some of our kids were practicing in blue jeans, and the good news is I had a wonderful coach, Tom Querum. We didn't have officials. He decided he was going to ref the game, and we still made it work. But it was a hard lesson in making sure that you're double checking your schedule. You know, Roger Aronson always tells a story to ADs that no one ever notices when everything goes right, but if something goes wrong, a scoreboard goes out, a referee doesn't show up, a ticket seller doesn't show up, it doesn't go on them, it falls on you as the athletic administrator. The MnIAAA is a wonderful professional organization that's going to help you be better at your job. It's a group of people who work hard to put on a first-class conference. It's a group of people who are there if you need them. It's a group of people who I've been able to lean on when you have questions, concerns, because you're going to have them. You don't know everything as an athletic administrator, and it's just a wonderful resource, and super proud to be a part of that group. Yeah, lots of people to thank. I think I'd like to start with my wonderful admin assistant, Joanne Graff, who was with me for over 20 years. She was truly the the brains and the beauty behind the operation. She kept me organized and on task. And then for the last couple years, Christy Smikalski, who also did the same thing. Also like to thank the MnIAAA for all their help they've given me and for this awesome award. The folks in the Minnesota River Conference, which we were a part of at Lesueur Henderson. All the folks in Region 2A who continue to support me as a region secretary. And I'd also like to thank the communities of Lesueur Henderson. We ask a lot of our businesses as ADs, and the town, the business people, the parents have been tremendous support for me, and I really appreciate that. Also like to thank my mom and dad. Taught me the value of hard work, the value of a good solid work ethic. I don't ever remember my mom or dad calling in sick for work. Like to thank my 3 children, Amanda, Samantha, and Jack, for putting up with AD who wasn't around a lot and wasn't always able to see their activities. And then my Hall of Fame wife, who has supported me, let me do my dream job while she was there right alongside me the whole way. So it's been a wonderful trip.